And a very good evening to you here at the Prairie Farms Holiday Basketball Classic here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium in Collinsville, Illinois. Game number 8 is what we are on now. 7 games down on day 1, just the sole game to go, as 14 teams have already played. The final 2 that you'll see here on the KHOC Sports Network on this day, December 27th. The Collierville Dragons from Collierville, Tennessee. If you're not familiar with that, that's a suburb of Memphis, Tennessee. And, of course, the local team, the Belleville East Lancers. My name is Matthew Clark. I'm delighted to be joined up here by a new guest, a new add-on to the KHOC Sports Network this season. If you've watched Belleville East basketball in the past, you will be delighted to hear the voice of the Belleville East Lancers. Stephen Stock, the senior in high school, who is doing great things at Belleville East, is going to be joining me as his Lancers take on Collierville. Stephen, hello, welcome to the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic. You and I were just taking in an exciting game between Lincoln and McClure North. How are you feeling so far? The atmosphere and everything doing okay with you?
Well, I mean, I'm excited to be here. It's going to be a good one here tonight. I mean, really, Collierville, Tennessee, Belleville East. I think we talked about it. It's going to be a close one between these two. These two match up really well. And I'm glad to be here with you on the call. I think it's going to be a great one. I hope you had a good Christmas. Glad to spend the holidays with you. Yeah,
absolutely. The holiday season was good outside of the game that you and I both went to in the bragging rights game, yes. Missouri against Illinois. That was a college basketball game. We won't talk about that one. Let's talk high school basketball here. First, before we go to game 8, let's take you a rundown back at 10 a.m. all the way down to now. As at the 10 a.m. game today, MacArthur and Granite City played, and the Generals won 58-51. That's the MacArthur's 10 straight Prairie Farms Holiday Classic win as the 2-time defending champions look to defend their title and get a three-peat. Game number 2, O'Fallon over Rockford East, 67-36, a fairly easy game for the Panthers there. Altoff beat Mundelein 75-50. They won by 25 after being down by 10. Quincy breezed past Oakville, Missouri, one of the top teams in the state there. The Quincy Blue Devils advance into the quarterfinals. Triad beat Carbondale in a late bucket by Tyler Thompson with 2.2 seconds to go. They win 41-40. Collinsville struggled a little bit against Eisenhower, but still took care of business. They win 64-47. And the last game, in game number 7 that you just heard Todd and Zach Roseman do, was a 45-43 win for the Lincoln Rail Splitters. They have not lost in the first round in about a decade, and that run will continue for the Rail Splitters under legendary head coach Neil Alexander. They are into the quarterfinals. I'll give you a couple of stats on that in just a moment. The quarterfinal games have already been set up on a couple of ends. So let's talk about the games we'll have on the KHOC Sports Network tomorrow. MacArthur and O'Fallon will play at 10 a.m. Altoff and Quincy will play at 11:30. Triad and Collinsville, big rivalry game there at 1 o'clock. Huge game. Don't want to miss that one. And Lincoln will play the winner of our final game. Collierville versus Tennessee and Belleville East. Steven, you saw a little bit of our games on the KHOC Sports Network today, and you've also been in person for a couple of these games. Is there anything in particular that's impressed you so far about the tournament play?
Well, especially that last game between McClure North and Lincoln, how close it was. That was a close game, and we saw Decatur MacArthur watch that game, a 7-point win. What I've seen so far, I feel like the best team that's on the court has won so far in the first 7 games. We'll see if that continues. But you look at it, I think the biggest headline coming in was the Quincy and Collinsville. You know, 2 of the best teams in the state, to 2 undefeated teams in this tournament. They're still a headline to meet up in that championship match. And this is a team, I think Belleville East, I know came here at Collinsville a few weeks ago and only lost by 13 after having a 7-point lead going into the final 2 minutes of the first half, tie game at the half. Everything kind of fell apart in the second half. So it'll be interesting to see if Belleville East can win this game. They'll obviously play Lincoln and then the winner of Triad Collinsville. But I think Belleville East is a team in this part of the bracket that may give Collinsville a run for money, if not Triad or Lincoln.
Let's give you a couple of stats on that Lincoln-McClure North game. 45-43, the Lincoln Rail Splitters win. Even though they were down, I think, I'm trying to do the math in my head right now, by 4 at the half, they outscored McClure North 15-6 in the third quarter. And even though McClure North down 7 late, came back and tried to get the lead back, Kendall Van Dyke was fouled on a 3 with about 3 seconds to go. Had a chance at the line, missed the first, missed the second, made the third, down 3. That's about the worst case scenario for you in that game. And a couple of other stats. Lincoln went 4 of 9 from 3, so actually didn't shoot the 3 ball that much. They're normally more of a shooting team than that. McClure North went 4 of 20 from 3, and that's where they really, really struggled. Kendall Van Dyke made 3 of those. On the other end, Lincoln actually turned the ball over 12 times. That's an uncharacteristic statistic for a team that normally takes care of the basketball well. They did outscore McClure North in the paint, though, 24-14. And McClure North had 17 bench points to Lincoln's 5. Trey Schilling, the player of the game, deservedly went 6 of 7 from the field, Stephen, 4 of 5 from 3, 16 points. And that's how the Rail Splitters find their way into the quarterfinal at 2:30 tomorrow, where they'll play the winner of this game. The Belleville East Lancers coming in at 7-4, and the Collierville Dragons coming in at 11-5. This is the 5th different opponent that Collierville has faced in the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic, the 3rd opponent from the Southwestern Conference. You got to think Collierville played some very tough opponents last year at this Holiday Classic. The teams that the Dragons played in the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic last year went a combined 100 wins and 32 losses. 3 of them won regional titles, and all of them went to a regional championship in O'Fallon. They played Triad, they played Collinsville, and they played Quincy. That's just about as hard a schedule as you could get. On Belleville East side, man, they come in after a very good win over Belleville Althoff, as they were able to beat Althoff in overtime at Althoff. A very good game. You want to speak on that one really quickly?
It was a good one, and really a team win. Talis Lowry, Xavier Moody led the showing, led the scoring for Belleville East, but it was just a team effort. You had guys like Jalen Dawson getting involved. You had a few bench guys. Jordan Jackson, who's someone I thought, he only scored 1 point in that game. The box score doesn't do justice to what he did. He played big defense down low. He was someone big for Belleville East, and what it takes in these wins for the Lancers is a team effort. They're going to go out there and play as a team, and we've seen that so far throughout these games and their wins.
Yep, and the starters here, let's give them to you for the Belleville East Lancers, who was just announced. Talis Lowry, the senior, will start alongside Khalil Waller, a senior, Jalen Dawson, a junior, Xavion Mitchell, a junior, and then Ja'Cory Brown, the junior, for the Lancers, who again are 7-4. The main man to watch out for is Talis Lowry, correct?
Yes, and I got a stat for you on Talis Lowry. When he scores 9 points or more in a game, the Lancers are 7-1. When he scores double figures, 10 or more, they're 4-1. So obviously, if Talis can score the basketball, they're going to get a chance of winning the game.
Well, and that is what they're going to try to do here. Lancers finished in a cruel 3rd place last year. They wish they would have gotten to the title game, and the Dragons finished 8th place, only winning team to win their first game and lose their next 3. All right, Steven, go ahead and take us through the first half between Collierville and Belleville East. Game number 8 here at the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic.
Belleville East in their blue jerseys, Collierville, Tennessee in their home whites. The tip is going to be won and controlled by Belleville East. Khalil Waller has it in the backcourt. The Lancers will have it left to right on your TV screen. Khalil back after missing the last game at Althoff. He's back to the starting lineup. He brings up for the Lancers across the timeline. Pass up top for Mitchell. Mitchell going to put on the floor, gives it to Talis. Talis goes top of the key, go left side. Talis, nowhere to go. Now goes to his right, now to his left, puts up a floater. In and out, couldn't get it to go. Rebound by the Dragons. Tennessee gets it across the timeline. Dragons want to run right, Keys. Right Prairie Farms logo, guarded by Waller. Get it up top, now go right side and lost it out of bounds. It was fumbled by Webb Thomas, and a turnover on the first possession for the Dragons.
Yeah, Webb Thomas comes in here as the junior, and if you're looking for the Dragons' best players, take a peek at Dallas Berkeley and Elijah Lucier, who have both hit game-winning buzzer beaters for the Dragons. Instead of 11-5, if they didn't hit those shots, they could have been potentially 7-4.
Waller gets it here.
Not, pardon me, 9-4,
yeah.
Pardon me.
Dragons put a little trap here, getting it to Dawson across the timeline. Dawson takes it a drive all the way on 2 guys, lay it up, missed it, rebound, ball's tipped out of bounds, and out of bounds off of Talis Lowry. Dragons will have it with 7:10 to play in the first.
And obviously one of the things we were talking about before we even started this is Elijah Lucier for Collierville is 6'9", 195, tallest player on the floor today, and Xavion Mitchell has a bit of a
that ball's
issue problem to
loose on the floor, and Dragons keep it. They're going to call a whistle.
Backcourt violation here. They passed it back to into the backcourt as Avery McKinnon was coming in late on that play, and it's back to the Lancers here. Both teams having a bit of trouble getting themselves introduced into this game.
First 2 possessions are Belleville East on defense. 2 turnovers, and Coach Creek liking that, and something Belleville East, they're more of a defensive team than last year. Defense is going to win games, and we've seen that so far. Talis left side. Got cut off on a drive, now goes all the way. Talis inside, picked up his dribble, double team, they back off. Lowry holding left, blocking it to Ja'Cory Brown. He almost lost it. He takes on a drive, and the ball's loose on the floor. It's stolen away, and the Dragons have it. Collierville, Tennessee gets it across the timeline. Right side of the key is it's Berkeley with it, guarded by Talis Lowry. Going to go right side. Now up top of the key. Thought about a 3, now throw it left wing. Up top. Top of the key, going to dribble. Picked up the dribble, pass inside. Layup good for Lucier. There's the big guy getting points.
Yep, and you talk about the 2 best players for Collierville. Match it up there, and, they do the little pick and roll. Great pass by Dallas Berkeley at the top of the key.
Dallas across the timeline, a pass to Dawson. Dawson Kicks out left wing for Khalil. He gets it right block for Mitchell. Going inside and lost it on the shot. Collierville, Tennessee has it. Here they come on a drive. Going all the way. Layup inside. Just missed. Fight for the rebound. Mitchell has it for the Lancers and a whistle for a foul. It's going to be a hard fight down low with Mitchell and Lucier. And I go back to the East Collinsville game here at Collinsville a few weeks ago where Mitchell had to go against the tall Zach Chambers for Collinsville. And Mitchell did a good job guarding him. We'll interested to see how that Lucier-Mitchell matchup goes. Foul was on number 5 for the Dragons. That is
Luke Rader.
Yep, that's their first going inside, and Mitchell puts it up. He's fouled. He's got free throws coming. That's their second team foul.
Well, if Belleville East want to do anything, then maybe one of their best options is to get not Dallas Berkeley, but Elijah Lucier in foul trouble.
That's his
early
first.
Foul for Lucier, and if you can get him too early in this first quarter by going and attacking at the rim like Savion Mitchell just did, that's going to provide problems for Collierville to solve.
Drains the first one is Mitchell, and Mitchell he had a quiet game. I think he was held scoreless in that Althoff game last Tuesday, but he can score the basketball. Second one, missed it. And again, as we just start, I don't know who's going to lead Lancers to score tonight. It could be Tallis, it could be Ja'Cory Brown, it could be any of those two, but it could honestly be anybody. I wouldn't be surprised if Xavier Moody off the bench or Jalen Dawson explodes for a double-figure scoring. As that ball was thrown out of bounds, the third turnover forced by the Lancer defense, they'll get it back.
Yep, and Luke Rader's had a couple of issues on the side. You see he's got that big knee brace on. Luke Rader provided some good minutes last year. I was very impressed with him on day 2 and day 3. Now he gets the starting call today by Sean Taggart, this coach for Collierville. So let's see what he's able to do
Dawson's
this year.
wide open on a drive. He kicks it to Brown. Brown inside, blocked from behind for Collierville, Tennessee. Dawson throws it off of a Dragon player out of bounds off of Dawson, and the Lancers will turn it over back to the Dragons with 5:17 to play in the first, 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1 is right as we see Caleb Davis check in. And if you thought Lucier was tall, Caleb Davis is 6'10", and he's a sophomore, so maybe still more room to grow for him.
Yes. 2-1 game, and so far Belleville's still looking for that first field goal. He got a free throw from Mitchell. He went 1 for 2, but Collierville, Tennessee ended up making a shot. They lead 2-1. Kick out right wing. There is Davis. Throws it back up top. 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. 3 minutes through. Khalil pokes it loose. Get it back for the Dragons. Right wing. Tallis on the ball handler. That is McKinnon. He throws it back up top. Dribble with the left hand is Berkeley. Berkeley goes to his left to right crossover. Fadeaway jump shot for the free throw line. Good. And it's 4-1 Dragons.
Yeah, and he's a 20-point scorer, and 20-point scorers are able to dribble right into the lane and just shoot at will. He did it right there.
A beautiful free throw line jumper. Tallis Lowry brings it back for Belleville East. He gives it to Dawson right wing. Now back to Lowry. Lancers looking for that first field goal. 3.5 minutes in. Still no bucket for Belleville East. Khalil just holds to the center court K-Hawk logo. Now puts on the fourth to left hand. Give it to Dawson. Back to Khalil. 4:20 to play. Waller calls the offense.
10 seconds on the shot clock here, Steve.
Again, you're playing in a tournament. You may not be used to it. Belleville East has not played in a shot clock game yet this year. Brown going inside, puts it up. Blocked by Lucier. Here come the Dragons. They want to run on a 4-on-2. Right wing now taking a drive, picked up the dribble, and the Dragons will slow it down, leading 4-1 halfway through in the first. Calling the offense is Berkeley up top, and he's guarded by Tallis Lowry. That'll be an interesting matchup. Tried to get past Lowry, almost lost it, and a whistle for a foul called on Belleville East for a block.
And I think that's going to be Jalen Dawson, who just got in there a little bit late. Steven, I don't want to make any comparisons too quickly, but this is an eerily similar feeling to the way Belleville East started against McClure North in last year's first-round game for the Lions. It's awfully slow, and the offense is sputtering here early on. Belleville East have got to figure it out.
It was a rough shooting game for Belleville East. That's thrown to the backcourt. Belleville East Waller going on a drive all the way, blocked again. That's probably, I think, the third block.
Yeah, third or fourth.
Wow.
And that time it's Berkeley. You know, I understand when Elijah Lucier, gets a couple of blocks. Yeah, he's 6'9", but great recovery play by Berkeley to save that possession. It was a horrible pass off the inbounds. And for Collierville, they'll have another player check in here for them. Let's get that roster player for you. We'll be back with that.
Right baseline, Belleville East triggers in and give it to Lowry right corner. Lowry, fake the pass, bounce pass inside. Brown lays it up. Good. Belleville East has their first field goal. Ja'Cory Brown, he gets his first points, and it's 4-3 in favor of the Dragons. Over in the backcourt, Xavier Moody checked in. We'll see what he can do. He's pretty fast. He was on that Belleville East football team in the fall. On drive all the way. Layup good for Dallas Berkeley. He's got 4. 6-3. Khalil. Pass across the timeline for Brown on a bounce pass. Ja'Cory gives it right wing for Moody. Thought about a 3. Now give it to Lowry. A little bit of zone defense here. Lowry back to Moody. He can pull the 3. Thought about it. Back to Lowry right wing. Back to Moody. Holding right corner. Back up top for Lowry. 15 on the shot clock. Goes to his right, got cut off. Brown, right block going inside. Laid up, good, and he's fouled. Whistle foul. Count the basket. It's good for Ja'Cory Brown.
Yep, and I was thinking that Collierville is doing that 2-3 zone. We've seen a lot of zone being played in this tournament, but Belleville East break it right there with a good little pass inside to Ja'Cory Brown, and I also wanted to correct myself there. Colin Monin is in the game for Collierville, and he's got that big afro hair on the near side of your screen that just pops out at you.
Brown misses a free throw. He's a 58% free throw shooter coming in, 23 for 40, misses that one, 6-5. Under 3 minutes to play in the first here in this last game of the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic, the late one here. Left wing with it, Holden's McKinnon, pass it right wing. Lucier, back to McKinnon. Jordan Jackson came in as well for Belleville East. We'll see how that goes. As Khalil Waller got in there and stole it away on the pass. Waller gets it across the timeline. Lancers slow it down a bit. 2:30 to play in the first. Waller gives it right wing for Lowry. Lowry goes to the left, no to his right. Right corner, back to Waller at the Prairie Farms logo, and Belleville East will reset.
Belleville East being very good at being patient, setting up offensive sets. Collierville's not scoring the ball at will too much either, which means that Belleville East can take their time. They're not chasing this game right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, all the season they've showed really good ball movement. You're seeing it here. Not 8 on the shot clock, and Belleville East, Coach Creek wants a timeout. We'll take one as well. 2:11 to play in the first. 6-5's the score on the KHOC Sports Network.
Plumbing or electrical problems? Is your AC? There are dozens of companies out there, but do you really know who you're letting in your home? Trust Tiger. Our technicians are clean-cut, drug-free, and background checked. What other company can make this bold statement? Our 24-hour emergency service will ensure your plumbing, heating, AC, and electric are up and running no matter what time of day it is. Schedule your appointment today. Tiger Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical Services. We earn our stripes every day.
Coach Creek takes his first time out for Belleville East. 2:11 to play in the first. 8 seconds left on the shot clock for the Lancers. 2 minutes and 11 seconds remain. It's 6-5 over Tennessee leading Belleville East. Steven Stock here with my partner, Showtime, Mr. Matt Clark. 6-5.
That name is old. That nickname is old.
Well, I pulled that from Coach Padgett.
Oh,
so
good grief.
There you go. 6-5, Xavier Moody will trigger it in for Belleville East. He gets it to Coleman. He came in for Waller out of the timeout. He wants to run the point. 4 seconds. Moody right wing with 3. Give it back to Coleman up top with 2. He wants a 3, catch and shoot. Bang for Coleman. He splashes that one. Lancers have their first lead of the night.
That was a great 3 by Coleman. I'm not sure if that was what Creek drew up in the timeout, but it worked anyways.
Coleman started for Waller last game. There's a 3 left corner for 3. Try to respond. Offensive board. Put up no good. Another offensive board. It's good for Davis. He gets his first points. We're tied up at 8.
7'1" wingspan for Davis. He's tied for the tallest player in this tournament with Solomon Talbot, who comes off the bench for the Collinsville Jayhawks.
I'll say Coleman, he filled in for Waller in that Altoff game for Belleville East. Did a good job. Scored 5 points, including a 3. Lowry with 90 seconds to play in the first. We're tied up at 8. Get a right wing for Coleman. Coleman Holder seeing a little bit of a zone defense here again. Brown free throw line. Kick out for 3. Nope. Head fake now up top. Moody. Moody holding. Back to Coleman right wing. Coleman up top for Lowry. Lowry back to Coleman. 2
3
on the
seconds
shot
on the
clock.
shot
You got to
clock.
get up something here. Moody lost it and fumbled it. And with 68 seconds to play, Belleville East has a shot clock violation. They turn it over.
I don't want to be difficult or critical on Belleville East here, but out of all the teams that have played with this shot clock today, Belleville East, in my opinion, have struggled with it the most here so far. But they've only played 1 quarter. They may be able to learn and grow from it as the game goes along.
That's almost a steal, and Dragons recovered. I'll mention something about that in a second. Left block layup inside, blocked by Jenkins, and Moody has on the rebound, and he is fouled in the backcourt by number 2. That is
BJ Boyce.
BJ Boyce. I'll try to look for number 2 of my roster. I was going to say, with that shot clock, Belleville East, there's a stat. The Belleville East Lancers last year scored over 2,100 points. About 1,900 of those points were scored by players that graduated. So only 200, 300 points were scored by players from last year. And I would say about 90% of that is from Tallis Lowry. So you're playing with a lot of guys that don't have any varsity experience. That's one of the biggest things about this team. They're just not used to the experience. There's a 3-pointer left leg for Coleman. Bang! Belleville East leads 11-8.
Yeah, suddenly Jaden Coleman out of nowhere, the sophomore, has hit 2 huge threes for Collierville and is stretching that zone defense that Belleville East had such a tough time breaking.
6 points for Coleman. Dragons put up a jump shot, missed it. Too strong rebound, offensive board, put back too short, and the tip in.
I think it tipped in off of a Belleville East player, if I'm being honest.
I think it tipped off Jenkins. 11-10. We'll see who they give that to. They gave it to Harris.
Aiden Harris, number 10 from Collierville. 13 seconds left here in this first quarter.
That's his first points. No shot clock. And throw it to Brown, left wing. 8 seconds. Brown trying to get past the defender. Ball's loose on the floor. Jacks has it. Puts it up. That's going to miss. Too short. 3 seconds. Tennessee try to run with 2, and there's a foul on either Jenkins or Brown. That'll be Belleville East's second with 1.5 remaining on the clock. They're to call Jenkins. That's his first. 1.5 left. We'll see if Collierville can make something here, make some magic with 1.5.
Yep, it'll be Aiden Harris, the senior, to trigger, and just checking into the game was A.J. Kraft.
Gets it in at half court, and it didn't even touch anybody. It went out of bounds. Belleville East is going to get it at half court. And
no, they're not. They're going to get it on the baseline. That's the rule that normally comes out.
Wow.
Since it touched nobody, that's the worst case scenario for Collierville on that play.
Wow.
It's worse than not getting a shot up at all and getting the basketball in, because now Belleville East with a second and a half here can draw up a set.
Well, I say it makes things a lot easier as Coleman's going to trigger it in. Coleman waiting. Throws it in for Moody, right corner for 3 at the buzzer. Airballed it too strong, and 8 minutes through here in this last game of the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic. Belleville East leads 11-10 on the KL.
Hi, Purple and White fans. This is Dan Mode, class of 1989. I'm with New American Funding. Myself and New American Funding are proud sponsors of K-Hawk Athletics. As we have great coaches at CHS on all the courts, fields, and tracks, we like to coach you through the home buying process and refinance process. If there's ever anything we can do, I can be reached at 618-973-5343 or www.danmodeloans.com. Let's support our student athletes at CHS. They deserve the best. Thank you for your time, and go K-Hawks.
Collierville, Tennessee 10, Belleville East 11 as we start the second quarter in the last game of this Prairie Farms Holiday Classic. Game 8 of 8 here in this first round on a Wednesday night, a snowy, cold Wednesday night. Stevens talking with my partner, Matt Clark. 11-10, Lancers lead here to begin the second.
And that's the best part about a cold night is that you kind of get to just enjoy basketball inside. Don't have to worry about the weather.
Get to be inside, yes. Out there for Belleville East. Moody, Coleman, Jenkins, Jackson, and Mitchell is over Tennessee right corner. That is Boyce with it. Gets a left wing. Going to take on a drive fadeaway shot for the lead. Got it. Falls for number 11, Dallas Berkeley. He's a guy to watch out for. He's got 6 now leading the Dragons at scoring.
Yeah, all on mid-range jumpers there for Dallas Berkeley so far in this game. And the other thing about Berkeley is that, you know, he can still shoot it from deep for this Collierville team.
Berkeley, Boyce, Harris.
And A.J. Kraft, I think, is out there too alongside A.J. Kraft, yeah.
Yep, there you go. Taking a drive all the way off the steal. It's good, and a foul. Whistle foul. Count the basket. The Dragons make it a 14-11 lead, and a free throw coming for number 11, Dallas Berkeley. He's got 8, and he can make it 9.
Well, when you talk about Belleville East having a lot of turnover in terms of roster turnover this year, Collierville is in that same department. Dallas Berkeley was one of their big players last year. He came off the bench for a team that won a district title in Tennessee at 14 points in I think like a regional semifinal Sweet 16 game against Memphis Central. And so Dallas Berkeley has to kind of step into that leadership role synonymously kind of to Tallis Lowry from Belleville East.
Berkeley at the line, trying to finish the and one. He missed it too short at the front of the rim. Brown brings down the rebound for Belleville East at a 3-point game. He gets it to Jenkins. Jenkins left wing, takes on a drive, kick out left corner for Khalil Waller. Going inside, picked up his dribble, pass out Mitchell, right wing 3. Nope, gonna kick it to Jenkins. He goes up top for Lowry. Belleville East resets, 20 on the shot clock. Lowry, crossover, going inside, puts up a shot, and it is not gonna fall. Tip, rebound, Lowry has it for Belleville East, gets it to Brown. Brown on a drive all the way, layup, missed it, rebound, the defensive rebound for the Dragons, and a held ball called, and Jenkins got in there. Possession arrow is in favor of Belleville East, so they will keep it.
Yeah, good job there, but Belleville East have got to finish those baskets, or those buckets at the rim, and
yes.
you know, I don't know how many. I don't think Tallis Lowry only has about 2 points here, and he comes in as Belleville East's leading scorer.
He's scoreless up to this point.
Does that surprise you?
Up to this point, Kind of. We'll see if he can go in the second quarter. He had a big second half against Altoff. Mitchell inside layup, good. And it's 14-13. Beverly East their first points in the second here.
Yeah, that's what's been so great about these night games tonight. All of them, except for maybe the Collinsville game where Collinsville had a pretty substantial lead, have been back and forth, and you just don't know who's going to come out of these games. And I think we've got the same case in this one.
Well, especially with these two teams, they're so even. They're so close, and you're seeing it right now. 6.5 to play in the second. Going inside, and they're going to call a
5-second violation, and that is fantastic defense there by Tallis Lowry. And that's what I love about Tallis Lowry is he is built on defense, Stephen. He's not built on his offensive play, although that's something that he's been working on and developing. Defense is his calling card.
Oh yes, I've called so many games with Tallis Lowry. I've seen him play so much. It's so rare to see someone get past him on a drive, and we'll see how that goes tonight. But he's just so good on that one-on-one defense, guarding the ball handler. He does a great job. Khalil has it for Belleville East, gives it to Ja'Cory Brown. Brown up top, gives it to Lowry. Lowry fans to his left, gives it to Waller. Belleville East with some good ball movement here going around the horn. Waller throws it inside, and Mitchell hit the deck, just threw it away out of bounds, and a turnover for the Lancers.
Yeah, but I love when Jeff Creek runs that dribble weave. He loves to work with that, sometimes also likes to run the UCLA screen, but that just gets players in space and gives an athletic team like Belleville East an opportunity to create certain chances when they go downhill.
Quick drive, kicking inside, Lucier, let it block by Mitchell, what a block! Brown recovers on the rebound for Belleville East. Brown has it across the timeline. Ja'Cory gives it to Dawson inside of the way, layup blocked by Lucier. You've seen that paint defense of Lucier tonight. Here comes Tennessee, drive left, good for Collierville, and it's 16-13.
Yep, and that is Dallas Berkeley once more. He is the first player in double digits tonight with 10. He's really led the Collierville Dragons so far.
Yep, he's got 10 of those first 16 points, and he's really got to go in the second quarter. That's 3 shots for him made here in the second. Lowry, right wing. Double team, give it up top for Brown. Brown on a drive, go all the way. Left good for Ja'Cory Brown, 16-15.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with Ja'Cory Brown's offensive play because he's built strong like that, Steven. It gives him the opportunity to get around players, but he complements that with his quickness off the dribble. And he did that very well right there, just breezed past. I think it was A.J. Kraft who was guarding him.
Brown wasn't even on the varsity roster last year for Belleville East. I asked Coach Creek, are you surprised with how he's done this year? He said, no, not at all. Dragons with the right wing now, holding here. But on the floor is Berkeley. He's going to guarded by Waller. He'll back it up and reset with 8 in the shot clock. They may have to work quicker with 6. Berkeley gets a screen from Lucier. Up top with 3. Crossover, fadeaway 3. Step back 3. Missed it, too short. Rebound is brought down by Dawson at the front of the rim. Dawson gives it to Waller. Waller right wing, going to slow it down for Belleville East. He throws it to Lowry left wing. Caught about a 3. Takes on a drive, picked up a shot, puts it up. Tallis, and he finishes for his first points.
How about that? The little Euro step for Tallis Lowry going to another continent on that one. And Collierville thought it was a travel, but maybe they were just shocked by how easy he was able to slip past the defense there. First 2 points for Tallis. That's allowed to.
That's one of his favorite moves down low. Culver, Tennessee on a drive. Dragons kick it out, almost stolen away. It was tipped and lost it, fumbled out of bounds off of number 2, B.J. Boyce. Turnover, and then Christian Jenkins will come in for Ja'Cory Brown for Belleville East.
Yeah, well, they almost lost it the first time on that possession. Then it bounces off of B.J. Boyce's leg. That's just a sign that possession was not meant to be for Collierville. But great response by the Lancers here in this second quarter to make sure, even though Dallas Berkeley's scoring for the Dragons, the Lancers are playing better team basketball.
They lead 17-16. McKinnon and Thomas came in for the Dragons. Tallis Lowry has it. He's going to bring it up. Nice little spin move. Goes to his right, gets it across the timeline. Halfway through in the second quarter, 4 minutes to play. 17-16 Belleville East. Lowry right block. Puts up a fadeaway jump. Missed it. Rebound Lucier for the Dragons. Berkeley has it. He'll bring it up across. They're going to put Lowry on him for this possession. He gets past Lowry right side. Puts it up, and it's not going to fall. Lowry gets the rebound past the Jenkins. He has it for Belleville East. Lancers going quick. Going inside, Jenkins all the way, layup good. Lancers lead by 3.
Yeah, and Drake Jenkins is a slasher more than he is a shooter. Not a great three-point shooter. Actually, he has shot the ball a lot from deep. Not a great shooter, so doing it a little bit differently by going inside for 2.
Jump shot is not going to fall. Rebound, Lucier missed it on the putback, and here comes Belleville East. Mitchell's wide open on the fast break. He's going to go jam time. Mitchell gives the Lancers their largest lead, and a timeout on the floor. Lancers lead 21-16, 3:19 to play in the first half.
Yeah, what a dunk there by Savion Mitchell. It'll just be a 30-second timeout here, and my goodness, what a jam. We'll be back in just a moment here on the KX Sports Network.
Alumni Stacy Lowenstein, CHS class of 91, Lisa Bassetto, Sarah Sulky, and Tracy Limp, CHS class of 94, Tony Geisen, CHS class of 96, and Kevin Robinson, CHS class of 99, want to wish all of our K-Hawks a great year. We look forward to cheering you on and supporting you. Work hard on the court and the field, as well as in the classroom. Remember, once a K-Hawk, always a K-Hawk. Hashtag K-Hawk family.
Timeout on the floor. 3:19 to play in the first half. Belleville East leading Collierville, Tennessee, 21-16 after a huge dunk by Savion Mitchell. He leads second in score with Belleville East for 5, leading them with 6 is Ja'Cory Brown, and Jalen Coleman leading the Dragons. It scored is Dallas Berkeley, our only double figure scored with 10. The Dragons have it right to left on your TV screen, and that is going to be thrown out of bounds. Another turnover forced by the Lancer defense.
Yeah, Rader and Webb Thomas get their lines crossed there when trying to make the pass connection on the press. Here's a statistic for you. You're just talking about Savion Mitchell. How about 2 and 4 are the Lancers when Savion Mitchell scores under 10 points? He is on track to get in double figures here tonight.
Yeah, he was scoreless that last game against Althoff, and it was tough to score the basketball for Belleville for sure in that game. Left wing for Lowry. Holden here. Goes to his left, now his right, now backs up, now trying to take another drive and pass out to Coleman. That ball's fumbled. Coleman still tracks it down. He gives it back to Lowry. Belleville East resets with 12 on the shot clock. Now on a drive, Lowry just puts it up. Missed it. Good defense there. Offensive board by Belleville East. Shot clock resets at 35. Blocked again by Lucier. That's at least his second or third block. Jenkins, right wing 3. Bang! And the Lancers open up an 8-point lead.
Well, Tallis Lowry learns from his first mistake on that play, got this offensive rebound, and then tried to go up and he got blocked. His shot got blocked. Then he said, okay, this time I'm going to pass it out to Christian Jenkins, who obviously could shoot the ball, and he did right there.
Another steal for Belleville East. They want to run after a turnover. Coleman all the way. Fumbled it. Lucier recovers it for the Dragons. And Tallis is averaging 2.5 rebounds on the year for Belleville East, and almost half of them have came from the offensive side.
I think Collierville really got to get the guy on the ball right here, Dallas Berkeley, going and get him back because he's been scoreless here for a couple of minutes. They got the ball stolen away.
Wow. I mean, he had it going to start off the second quarter, and a travel on Tallis Lowry, and a turnover, and Dragons will get it back with 2:03 to play in the first half.
That's the best thing about this Belleville East team, and I think you've seen it. They learn and they grow in the game. They get better as the game goes along, if you will. They figured out, okay, how do we stop this Collierville team? They've kind of figured it out here in this second quarter defensively, and they're also forcing turnovers, and that's Belleville East at their best, and that's what Coach Creek preaches, and Belleville East working really hard right now, and that's why they got that 8-point lead.
That's exactly what Coach Creek and Coach Patchett have talked about all year. Obviously a 7-4 record, not the best. They've lost some games they definitely didn't want to lose, but these guys work together. They're seriously hard workers. Layup inside for Lucier, no good. Offensive board, put back, no. Lucier had it out of the hands of Jalen Dawson. Has it for Belleville East. Dawson gets it across the timeline, kicks it, and it's stolen away. Here come the Dragons. Lucier, it's going to go one-on-one with Brown. Inside, layup good, and Lucier has 4 points now. He's been held scoreless for a while.
Yeah, and that just goes to credit the Belleville East defense inside, as I think Caleb Davis is going to check in for the Dragons in order to give him a little bit of rest here late on in the second quarter.
Dawson gives it to Coleman under 75 seconds to play in this first half. Belleville East leads by 6. Brown gives it to Dawson right wing. He's going to hold. Gives it to Coleman, right block. He's wide open, layup good.
I don't know if that was a set from Jeff Creek or not, because sometimes it's not that complicated for the Belleville East coach, but that time Coleman just runs right around the away screen and just wide open for a basket.
Here comes the Dragons. Lucier inside for a whistle. Offensive foul on the Dragons. Belleville East will get it back. 57.2 to play.
Well, it's just interesting to think that Collierville had that 1-point lead in the second quarter. In the second quarter, it really looked like they were scoring at will on Belleville East. They have been held really quiet here. I think that starts with the fact that Dallas Berkeley right now is on the bench for Collierville, but it finishes with the fact that the Belleville East defense is not giving them anything easy.
Well, that's Coach Creek's adjustments. He's done a good job making adjustments. I've seen it. They played Modern Day at home in non-conference play a few weeks ago. Modern Day had a lead after the first quarter. They were held scoreless throughout the whole second quarter just because of Coach Creek's adjustments. They played more of a zone trap defense. Ended up working out. Moody, right wing, 40 seconds to play. Give it to Mitchell up top. He gives it to Waller, left wing. Here comes the screen from Savion. Picked up the drill. Mitchell, left corner. He wants a 3 catch and shoot. Air ball. Put back good for Moody, kind of like an alley-oop.
Yeah, almost an alley-oop there. And Xavier Moody actually saw that in the air. He's like, oh, that's going long. I'm going to catch that and put it up for 2. And Lancers are kind of getting the ball to roll their direction as well, and that's helping them. That's helping them with this lead.
Shot clock turned off for this last possession for Collierville, Tennessee. Down by 10, their largest deficit. There's a 3, right wing. Oh, missed the air ball. Sorry, I thought it was snake from up here our angle. Off it's a board, Dragons inside, and a foul as 3 players swarmed Caleb Davis with 7.6 to play. There'll be 2 free throws. They're going to call it on the shot.
Yeah, I'd give Lancers some credit. They've been historically good against in these sort of games. They're 21-13 in first-round games at the Holiday Classic, and the last time they played in the nightcap game, it was 2018. They lost to Granite City then, but they played the last game of the night there as Davis is going to make the first there, and they're 10-2 against teams outside of Illinois at the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic, and they were all against the last 3 games that they played against teams outside of Illinois were all against McClure North, but they won all of those games. So again, Belleville East maybe not knowing their opponent as well, looks like that it benefits them to their advantage.
I talked with Coach Badge right before the game. I was down there talking to him. That second free throw's a miss. Rebounds tipped out of bounds, and Belleville still had a 6.3. He said, well, we kind of really don't know much about him, so we think it's going to be a close game. And, out-of-state opponent, you really don't know much. That's a good thing about it. I like this tournament. There's a lot of teams from everywhere. You don't know where you're going to get. 3 seconds. Lowry with 2 gets it across the timeline. Lowry with 1, and they're going to say he
carried it.
I was going to say carry it. Yep.
He's had a couple of unlucky turnovers, I'd say, for Tallis Lowry. He knows all about how to hit a buzzer beater at the half in sensational fashion as he did at Edwardsville earlier this year.
1.5 to play, 9-point game here right before the half. Can they get something to get to Lucier at the buzzer, half-court heave, airballed it, and we head into the half here on our last game on a Wednesday night at the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic Tournament. Belleville East leads Collierville, Tennessee, 28-19. We'll have a halftime report coming up here on the KHOC Sports Network.
Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for KHOC fans, before, after, or even during KHOC games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows KHOC games live as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carry-out orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, KHOC fans' pub of choice.
At Visionary Wealth Advisors, we empower you to see your future before it's your future, to create your inheritance, to build your vision, to anticipate the known and unknown, and to find potential in both, and build new dawns. Visionary Wealth Advisors.
Visit Brad Keene at his Collinsville office at 106 North Clinton or call 618-467-8420. Do you have a big land improvement project that requires some outside help? Call Petroff Trucking Company. The Petroff Companies have been shaping the metro area since 1975. Family owned and operated, Petroff Trucking Company can do the job and do it right. Hauling, excavating, and grading, they do that and more. Petroff Companies also has roll-off dumpster rentals. They also specialize in dirt and rock sales. Petroff Trucking Company can help you develop your land for your needs. Petroff Trucking Company. Check out their website, petrofftrucking.com, or give them a call, 618-797-6100. Petroff Trucking Company, shaping the metro area since 1975.
The Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been a proud supporter of KHOCSports.com and the KHOC Sports Network from day one. Since 1934, the Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been providing women in the community an opportunity to make a difference with fundraisers and projects, all that go towards helping the needy in Collinsville. If you would like any information on any event sponsored by the Collinsville Junior Service Club, head to Facebook, type in Collinsville Junior Service Club, and then click on the event tab. We thank the Collinsville Junior Service Club for their continued support of the K-Hawk Sports Network and KHawkSports.com.
Hi, Purple and White fans. This is Dan Mode, class of 1989. I'm with New American Funding. Myself and New American Funding are proud sponsors of K-Hawk Athletics. As we have great coaches at CHS on all the courts, fields, and tracks, we like to coach you through the home buying process and refinance process. If there's ever anything we can do, I can be reached at 618-973-5343 or www.danmodeloans.com. Let's support our student athletes at CHS. They deserve the best. Thank you for your time, and go K-Hawks.
Just because we're adults doesn't mean we don't have toys, am I right? If your adult toys consist of boats, campers, or RVs, then you need to call the GASA storage team of professionals. Winter weather in the Midwest can be quite harsh, and finding a place to properly store those expensive toys for winter can be just as rough as a Midwest winter. That's where the GASA storage team comes in, with outdoor self-storage and covered storage for your toys. They even have tractor-trailer parking, conveniently located at Horseshoe Lake Road and 111 in Pontoon Beach. GASA Storage, for the safe storage of all of your toys. Contact the GASA Storage team, gasastorage@gmail.com, or call today, GASA Storage Team, 618-797-6100. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville produces their own spirits and beer on site, right at the restaurant. Pair that with some of the most unique menu items around the entire metro area, and you can see why they are such a hit. They can handle you and your family, or they can handle you and your group. Throw in the occasional live entertainment, and you can see why Old Herald Brewery and Distillery is a must-stop destination in Collinsville. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery, 115 East Clay Street in Collinsville, 618-855-8027, or online at oldheraldbrewing.com. Looking to buy a new home or sell your current home? Trust the Blaylock Group of eXp Realty with all of your real estate needs. The real estate market is hot right now, and you can trust the years of experience the Blaylock Group brings to the table. The Blaylock Group can help you find your dream home, or they can help you get top dollar for your current home. Give Peyton or Emily Blaylock a call today at the Blaylock Group of eXp Realty, 618-780-4622. That's 618-780-4622. The Blaylock Group of eXp Realty.
And welcome back to the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. 28-19 the score. The Lancers have a 9-point lead on the Dragons as they look to return back into the quarterfinals, where they have been in last year, and actually the year after that. They lost in the first round game against Madison, as Matt Clark, Steven Sock alongside me, the voice of the Belleville East Lancers. I want to thank everyone who has watched our K-Hawk Sports Network broadcast here in the day, whether you're listening from Tennessee, whether you're listening from the state of Missouri or in Illinois. It doesn't really matter. North, south, east, west. We appreciate your support. We have had a lot of people tuning into our coverage of this. And just a reminder, we still have, trying to check it, 16 total games left here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium following this one. Those are on day 2 and day 3. Don't miss day 2's coverage here at the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic. It is going to be awesome.
I call it Chaos Day with all those
Chaos Day. We call it Moving Day. Some people I've called it the Gauntlet in the past, but we'll leave day 2 in about 12 hours from now, which in about 12 hours we will tip off with game 1 of that. Day 2 it'll be against MacArthur and O'Fallon. Here's the halftime stats from you from this one. Collierville held to 19 points in that one. 0 of 3 from 3 from the Dragons. Their three-point shooting, not only have they not made a 3, they have not taken any threes. And the Lancers haven't really much either, but they're 3 of 5 from 3, which is nice. It's a good add-on. A couple of other notes from the Lancers. They're really balanced scoring. There are 4 Lancers players that have 5 or more points, 2 of them coming off the bench. That's Savion Mitchell, Corey Brown, Christian Jenkins, and Jalen Coleman leads the Lancers with 8 points. On the other end, Dallas Berkeley leads the Dragons with 10. The other note on the Lancer team is while they are balanced scorers, they are also a balanced turnover team. 9 turnovers by the Lancers. Only one player, 2 players that have gotten into the game so far from the Lancers have not committed a turnover. So maybe something for Coach Creek to work on, but he'll be fine with those 9 turnovers, even because the fact is the Lancers are up 9 in this one.
Well, they're forcing turnovers on the defensive side. They played some good defense, and you go look at the Dragons scoring. Berkeley has 10 points, and we talked about he was started off pretty hot to start off that second quarter. And Beverly's held up scores for the last 5 minutes or so in that second quarter. And so their defense is playing well, and it's led to buckets on the other side, and that's what we've kind of seen so far this year. When Beverly's plays good defense, it usually leads to good buckets on the other end.
Yep, and Beverly's building off of that very good victory against Althoff in the regular season, as Althoff just made the quarterfinals earlier today. Belleville East had the lead 11-10 at the end of the first quarter. Then they outscored Collierville 17-9 in the second, and the Lancers really using the bench to their advantage. They are outscoring the Dragons there 15-5. So very impressive work from the Lancers. Steven, on Collierville's end, they got to find a way to get past this Belleville East defense, because it's just smothering. Is there anything outside of Dallas Berkeley and Elijah Lucier that they could do in order to help them there?
Well, I mean, I think I would like to see if they could get Lucier the ball down low more, because as time went on in that game in East Collins earlier this season with Zach Chambers, he was held pretty scoreless. I think he may have had 2 or 4 points that first half, but Council kept trying to get him involved down low, and ended up, I think, having 8-10 points in that game. Over time, they were able to get buckets down low, but also you see if you can get guys like Avery McKinnon, who's a guard, or Luke Roeder in this game, trying to get them the basketball, Webb Thomas the basketball, because Belleville's doing a good job locking down their top 2 guys.
Yes, absolutely, and that's where you could see the depth of Belleville East in relation to Collierville's depth. Lancers are a little bit more deeper, have some more subs that they can go on off of the bench. 28-19 is our score. Both of these teams won their first round games last year. One of these teams is going to play Lincoln tomorrow in the 4th quarter final at Fletcher, and there's going to be one team that is going to be playing in the 2 o'clock game in the Aux Gym against McClure North, who just brutally lost that game against Lincoln. I feel bad for whoever goes 0-2 in this stretch of these 4 teams when you're talking about Lincoln, McClure North, Belleville East, and Collierville, because all 4 of these teams are very strong teams. I don't know who's going to make it to the semifinals. I have no clue who's going to go 0-2 out of this group.
No, I think you look at those 4 teams, they're probably the most competitive. Take a group of 4 teams on a bracket, I think that's probably the most competitive. You know, these teams are all so close, and saw it last year. Belleville East played McClure North and Lincoln as well. It's where I started second half to give the play-by-play over to my partner, Matt Clark.
Yeah, absolutely. Collierville is in those whites. They'll start out with the basketball moving left to right. It'll come to Dallas Berkeley just on the left side of your TV screen, as he will walk into your frame now up against Khalil Waller. This is Thomas in the corner. Gets the screen from Davis, who starts in the second half alongside Mitchell. Then there's a scramble on the floor. It falls right back to Berkeley. So, again, the aggressive Belleville East defense helping to their advantage. It is Berkeley guarded on the other end by Jalen Dawson. Berkeley trying to shake him here. He'll go with the step-back 3, sidestep 3, sinks in for, my goodness, Dallas Berkeley comes out of the halftime, and he is red hot. That's one of the most impressive shots I've seen all of day one.
That's what the Dragons need more of, a nice little 3, 13 points down for Berkeley. We got a 6-point game.
Dawson, there is inside, and trying to take the charge there. He does. Is Luke Rader, and the foul goes on Ja'Cory Brown. Sorry, I was trying to look at my sheet there, but Ja'Cory Brown picks up his first foul in this one. The only person that really has to deal with any foul trouble from the Lancers is Jalen Dawson. He has 2.
Yeah, and Brown's a guy that's going to get physical down low, and unfortunately it doesn't go the way for Belleville East. But a good start here for the Dragons. They get a 3. Now a defensive stop, see if they can get some more of it.
Berkeley streaks down the lane, and then it falls into the hands of Lucier, and Collierville will set up with Luke Rader at the top of the key, guarded by the ever-present Tallis Lowry. This is Thomas on the left wing extended. He gets the screen from Lucier. Lucier rolls up against Brown. Spin move, right hand. That's his offhand. He missed it. Davis grabs the rebound, goes down with it, and then comes back up. He is fouled as he comes up with the basketball. This is a very good start, Steven, for the Collierville Dragons coming out of the locker room.
Well, I just want to mention right here, the starting lineup to not have Caleb Davis in. He's in there with Lucier. You got 2 big guys, Lucier being 6'9", Davis being 6'10", respectfully. So trying to show more of a size. In Belleville East, again, I talked about it, their only guy that can really compete is Savion Mitchell, who's 6'8", 175. So more of a big lineup down low for the Dragons.
And Caleb Davis will get 2 shots at the line. He already shot at the line earlier today. He makes the first. Davis was 1 of 2 from the free throw line on his last trip. And this is a guy that you may want to watch out for from Collierville in the future. Only a sophomore, And he got to meet Jerry Stackhouse at Vanderbilt down there in Tennessee. Not sure if he has any offers there yet, but again, 7'1" wingspan always helps. And he makes both free throws, which is sometimes hard for big men to do. The lead suddenly cut to 4. Collierville opened the second half on a 5-0 run. Brown decided not to go inside as Berkeley was probably ready to take the charge there. This is Lowry, guarded by Rader. Let's see if Lowry can get heated up offensively. He drives inside. Floater is in there as he just got it above the hand of Lucier. And back out to 30-24. The Lancers have the lead. Now it's Berkeley in the backcourt trying to find a pass. He does to Lucier. Go ahead, Steven.
I was going to say Tallis, that's going to end up being a steal for Belleville East and a whistle for a block. I was going to say Tallis, he's done it. What he's gotten better on, obviously, you mentioned he's more a defensive guy. What he's done is worked on his scoring. And when he drives to the basket, he's facing more taller guys, more bigger guys. You saw that against Lucier, and that's what Tallis already, that's his specialty, going down low against those guys. That foul was called on the Dragons, number 4. That's Webb Thomas, his first.
And it is Waller with the ball in the backcourt for Belleville East. As he gives it to Ja'Cory Brown in the corner. Going zone once more a little bit is Collierville. It looks like they're back to man-to-man. Brown. East can win with their quickness, and that's what Lowry does there on the baseline, down the lane for 2. 2 straight baskets for Lowry to push the lead back out to 8.
He's got 6 now.
Rader, almost a missed pass. Berkeley was able to get back and save the possession. Now he's back, and Collierville have numbers. Thomas, he'll fire from 3. No good, and the rebound comes to Waller over the 6'9" Lucier, and Lancers will run again. This time it's Dawson. Goes inside, hands it off to Savion Mitchell, but he wasn't able to corral the pass. It's out of bounds, and Collierville will get the ball back.
A good possession there by Belleville East on defense, able to get another force to miss in the rebound. And again, the defense, adjustments by Coach Creek, they're really executing on defense, and back to an 8-point lead for the Lancers.
Yep, and 1 of 5 now for the Dragons from 3. That has hurt them in this game so far. They haven't taken a ton of them, but they're sorely missing those points from deep. This is Rader. Outside by Tallis Lowry. Tough to go around him. This is Berkeley now. He'll get the screen from Lucier. Nice little pick and roll. Lucier up against Mitchell. Goes baseline and then puts it up with his left hand over Mitchell. And a good bucket there from Lucier. You said getting the ball in for Collierville, for Lucier, is probably something that they would like a little bit to do more.
That's a matchup I think we're going to see more of. Lucier now with 6, going one-on-one with Mitchell.
Dawson almost traveled back out to Lowry, and instead of pulling the 3, he waits. Lancers just trying to fend off Collierville here, and up for the layup is blocked by Davis. Maybe potential goaltending call. It doesn't matter necessarily because Tallis Lowry will get the chance to get those 2 points from the line. If it was a goaltending, it would have been an and 1. It would have been a 3-point play opportunity for Tallis.
Lowry is an 81% free throw shooter in the year. He is the best free throw shooter on this Belleville East team, 30 for 37, and Jalen Dawson right behind him at 80%, 12 for 15.
Talked about how Mitchell, if he scores in double figures, normally good news for the Lancers. And for Tallis Lowry, who makes that first free throw, it's also good news whenever he's in double figures. They've only lost 1 game this year when he scored more than 10. That was against Edwardsville.
Yep.
Made that amazing shot from half court and ended up not working out in the Lancers' favor in that particular game, 33-26.
And when he scores 9 points, the Lancers are 7-1.
Lowry makes the second, back out to an 8-point lead. So
I just want to say he's got 8 points now, so they're getting close to that stat.
Berkeley, great pass. Davis cocked it back and slams it home. Caleb Davis, the sophomore who's brought great minutes for Collierville off the bench. 7 points for the sophomore.
A little two-handed dunk right there, showing off the height. Just left wide open on a fast break.
Great pass there. Fantastic vision from Dallas Berkeley. Now it's Dawson. Do the Lancers respond here? They're going down the lane. Back out to Brown. Brown was trying to get on that favored left hand. Jordan Jackson checks into the game for the Lancers as well. Here is Dawson on the left wing, trying to find Waller. Gets the screen from Jackson. Now the double team causing trouble. Back out to Lowry with 10 on the shot clock. He's got to get a shot up here. It's Brown. Fires from 3. No good. Rebound comes to Jordan Jackson. Great seal by Jalen Dawson, and that allowed Jackson to get an easy layup. Collierville the other way through Luke Rader. Pass and cut to Webb Thomas, and it almost fell into the lane in the rim. Doesn't matter. Lucier was right there to pick up the loose change. Back down to a 6-point game. We're going back and down and up and down the court now.
Lucier's got 8. He's got 4 in the second half. Again, can the Dragons get him going? Now it's a 6-point game, 2 possessions.
Drive inside for Lowry. Fouled as he went up. He was body checked in the air. He'll go to the line once again. That's his 3rd trip to the free throw line in this second half. Tallis Lowry, and he has been good at the free throw line. Like you said, an 80% free throw shooter, and he can add on to his total and get into double figures with 2 made ones here.
32 for 39 now after making those 2, and that's, my math's correct, about 82% now.
And when you talk about the turnover for Belleville East, last year when Talis Lowry played in this tournament, he played all 4 games. He had 5 total points, Stephen. He has 9 tonight for the Lancers, so he's already surpassed that as well. And had 4 fouls against Decatur MacArthur, which meant he was in foul trouble, so the Lancers kind of missed him dearly in that game as the role player that he could be. He shakes off the hair that maybe have been in his way on that shot and then sinks it in back to an 8-point game, which is where it's been here in the first half of this third quarter. Great press break by the Dragons, and now it is McKinnon up inside, almost dunked it. Davis fighting for the rebound. He gets it now up with his right hand, and it sinks in for 2. And suddenly, Collierville doing a great job on the boards, getting offensive rebounds to keep themselves in this game. Christian Jenkins for 3. That is no good. Tip in by Brown over the back. And Collierville will get the ball back. They can get a bucket here. They can cut it to a 4 or 3-point game.
He's going to go back to that Davis bucket. How big has Davis been for the Dragons in the second half? He's made a huge impact. I mentioned 2 big guys down low, and you're seeing the impact of it right now. Belleville East kind of has no answer for it down low. And
this is one of his best scoring games of the season. He had 6 points versus Greenbrier, 7 versus Mitchell earlier in the year, but this time he's really made an impact. This is Berkeley. Gets around Coleman, and now he's got a little bit of chance up against Jenkins. Now Berkeley will wave off players coming towards him, pulls up from mid-range, and it rolls out. Lucier offensive board, but that layup doesn't go, and so they can't convert on the second chance opportunity, and in the middle of the court, Ja'Cory Brown is fouled. 3 fouls for each team in this one. And that is Dallas Berkeley's 2nd foul. The only other player with 2 for the Collierville Dragons would be Webb Thomas. On the other end for the Lancers, only real foul trouble would be Ja'Cory Brown. He's got 2. Doesn't look like we're going to have anybody fouling out of this game, though.
Oh, yeah, and especially with how much Belleville East plays, all the guys that play, it'll be real tough to see even Brown get to 4 fouls. But Belleville East, they're just not really getting the rebounds. Again, goes back to Davis and Lucier both playing down low, and Belleville East just has no answer for it down low, and luckily for the Lancers, put up a good contest, and he missed, and the offensive putback was Lucier.
So Lucier is still in, but Berkeley is out of this game right now as he had a conversation with Sean Taggart off the bench. Sean Taggart has a distinction that no other player has in this tournament. He played at Memphis and was on that Memphis team that was 38-2 back in the 2007-8 season and went to the NCAA tournament final, came off the bench as a 6-man as Jenkins goes inside, blocked from behind by Davis, and that is going to stay with the Lancers. But that's pretty impressive. I mean, you're talking about a guy that has played in a big-time game. He stands at 6'10" out there.
Oh, yeah, he's, I mean, with all that playing time, I mean, a great player for Memphis. I bet that experience really pays off coaching.
And Jenkins is there for the alley-oop, and he just kind of dips it in there for 2. Other way is Monin. It goes off of the foot of McKinnon. Back to the Lancers. And it just seems like we've seen the same story for multiple games in this tournament. The door has been open for Collierville to cut back into this game and make it close. They just cannot stop the Lancers when they really need a defensive stop.
And they can't really string buckets together. We saw a few consecutive possessions where they scored, but now they're in a little bit of a scoring drought.
Coleman, oh my goodness, and Monin fell down. Crowd giving a little oohs and ahs to that.
He's a good dribbler, I'll tell you that.
Brown inside, up with the layup. Jenkins, no good. And it's a foul going the other way. Xavier Moody is the one that commits it. And the next foul for the Lancers next foul for either team will put the counterpart, the opposition, into double bonuses. Both teams have 4 fouls here in this third quarter.
And Moody, talking about Xavier Moody, I'm going to quote assistant coach Keith Pageau. I talked to him a few weeks ago. Talked about Xavier Moody because he started off great so far for Belleville East basketball. He called his play on the court nuts. He goes all over the place as there's going to be a ball knocked loose out of bounds. Dragons will keep it, but he's just all over the place, and you're seeing it so far. He's fast and he shows the speed.
Well, you know him because he played football for Belleville East as a wide receiver. One of the legendary plays of the Lancer season was his kickoff return for a touchdown in the playoffs in that dominating win that the Lancers had against East Aurora.
Well, it was bound to happen. He had a lot of good kickoff returns, just couldn't house it, and finally got that one in the playoffs and really set the tone for Belleville East in that game.
Steal here by Coleman. Collierville was messing around in the backcourt, but the layup from Coleman does not go. Coleman gets it back. Now he'll try again. Up at the layup, could not get it to go, but he'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. And I guess that's not the worst thing that could have happened on that possession for Jalen Coleman, even though he missed 2 layups.
Yeah, you know, and it was a good defensive play, and got the ball back on the steal, and we'll see if he can redeem himself with 2 free throws. Coleman on the year, is only 0 for 2 from the free throw line, so let's see if he can make his first here.
Not a lot of free throw line appearances for the 5'8" guard, sophomore.
Yeah.
Talk about some of the smallest players in the tournament. You think about him. You think about Keon Carson, who played for Lincoln and was flying all over the place in that 45-43 win.
We saw it all over the place.
If Coleman makes his free throw here, it'll go out back to a double-digit lead, which is where Belleville East would like it to be here. The team from the Southwestern Conference, who is 0-2 in the Southwestern Conference so far, but that does not faze them. That's not a great representation of how good this team truly is. Coleman hits the second. 42-32 is our score with just under 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. This is B.J. Boyce, who checked in on that last play. Small man against small man here as he runs past Coleman, drives around Jenkins on that far side, a tip and toe in the sideline there. This is Kraft. Good pressure defense again from Belleville East. This is Boyce. Boyce just going to take his time with 1.5 minutes to go here. Up against Coleman. Again, tiny versus tiny. Up with the floater is Boyce, and he gets it to go. Nice bucket there by B.J. Boyce, who had some good points in last year's tournament when Collierville played that, again, that difficult schedule in the tournament.
Man, he just put it up, and it fell. Pretty looking shot. Back to an 8-point game.
David Jones for Collierville checked in on the last opportunity. Now Moody over to Coleman. He'll drive right, left-handed layup, no good. And Collierville can run with it here through Jones, and he's stolen away. Other way for Coleman. He's not going to be able to dunk that one. He's 5'8", but it's an easy layup anyways, and Jeff Creek decides this is a good time to call a timeout. 10-point lead for the Belleville East Lancers. We'll be back with more third quarter action in the final game of the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic Day 1 on the KHOC Sports Network.
Todd Duke here, proud member of the Collinsville Educational Assistance Association. Whether you call us teachers' aides, paraprofessionals, or educational assistants, it all comes down to one thing: taking care of students. More importantly, your student. Yes, we are there for the teachers, and we help them in any way possible. But our goals are in line with our teachers, in that we want to see our students succeed at not only being a student, but well beyond that as we ready them for the world outside of the classroom. We are Union Strong. We are KHOC Strong. We strive to help students reach their potential. We are the Collinsville Educational Assistance Association. Go KHOCs!
Quick 30-second timeout there from Jeff Creek of the Belleville East Lancers. I think that's really only the second timeout he called. They're playing Happy by Pharrell Williams here as we come back to break. Clap along if you feel that this has been a great first day of the Prairie Farms Holiday Basketball Classic, and the Lancers will be happy with their performance so far as we're under a minute to play here in the third quarter. Boyce, thought he carried it maybe as he goes up against Waller, and he lost the ball anyway, so whether it was a carry or not in the front court there, doesn't matter. Lancers get the basketball back.
Before that timeout, Belleville East had two leading scorers, both with 10. Talos Lauer, Jalen Coleman. Jalen Coleman's overtaken Lauer now with 12. I mean, the guy, sophomore, you mentioned, pretty small. Hasn't got much playing time before these last few weeks. He's really exploded tonight with 12, now leading the Lancers in scoring. It goes back to our previous point. Anybody can lead the Lancers in scoring tonight. You're seeing it here.
Jenkins, weave play this time up for the layup. No, he tried to pass it to Xavier Moody. Jenkins, dribble jumper, no good, and the rebound comes to A.J. Kraft. 20 seconds to go. Our shot clock is turned off as Berkeley checks back into the game. He'll put in a little floater. He left that one short, which is uncharacteristic. Other way for the Lancers. Stolen back by Berkeley. And now Berkeley will try to dribble it out. Good pressure defense there by the Lancers and Xavier Moody. And then Xavier Moody finally fouls Berkeley. And since it is the fifth Lancer foul, Berkeley will get 2 free throws at the line.
That's an interesting change. I don't know what it is in Memphis, Tennessee, but the IHSA with that rule change, 5 fouls now gets you the double bonus, not a 1-and-1 bonus. And we'll see how that plays here. And again, I've been kind of one that's kind of, not, I would say, against the double bonus only being 5 fouls. But you put a shot clock in this tournament, I think it's going to be interesting to see in a close game with a double bonus and a shot clock how that shapes up the end of the game.
We'll take a look at this. Sean Taggart is bringing in a hockey line change here on the last possession of the game. Let's get all of these players to you, shall we? Give me a second as I open up my book. Collierville again, a full line change there. So Evan Schneider is in. Braden Santibanez is in for these final 5 seconds. A couple of players at the free throw line as well as Berkeley's second free throw goes in. Luke Rader checked back in alongside Garrett Ross. This is Waller trying to drive down the lane inside to Mitchell at the buzzer. He gets it to go, and the Lancers have it back up to a 10-point lead at the end of the third quarter. Great work with 5 seconds to go for the Lancers to get all the way down the floor, and an easy layup for Xavier Moody. 46-36 is our score. One more quarter on day one here of the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic, and we'll have it for you when we come back here in just a moment.
Keep your ride shiny and clean with Extreme Details Vehicle Detailing in Collinsville. Owner Jay Merkel and his crew at Extreme Details believe in the value of community and in helping their community hold the value of their vehicles with a sharp-looking, clean ride that you and your community can be proud of. Extreme Details can handle any job, whether you drive a small car, an SUV, or even a bus or RV. No job is too big or too small at Extreme Details. Extreme Details offers scratch and oxidation removal, no matter what you drive: cars, trucks, motorcycles, boats, and more. Plus, Extreme Details can handle fleet vehicles for you and your company. Call Jay and the gang at Extreme Details at 618-977-1224. Check for periodic specials on the Extreme Details Facebook page. Put the shine in your ride with Extreme Details, 618-977-1224.
Back of the year at the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic, game number 4. Collierville won their opening round game last year when they were the new team in the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic. Steven, here's a bite for you that you may not know. Collierville has a connection to this area in some capacity. Their 4-star quarterback, Aiden Glover, is committed to the University of Missouri. So if you're a Mizzou fan, you'll get very familiar with Glover real fast. He does not play basketball, but, I mean, you see, he's kind of got the same hairdo as Colin Monaghan. That afro, Glover likes to sport it too. He'll be at Mizzou next season.
How about that connection right there? We're excited to see his potential, and obviously Brady Cook one more year. We'll see how he does, but Glover in the driver's seat for the year after that.
Belleville East take a 10-point lead here in the fourth quarter. Lowry will take his time. Back out to Waller. Waller drives. It's Lowry, the run and the dribble weave again. Now it's Ja'Cory Brown on that left hand that he loves to use. Waller into the paint, trying to find an option. It'll be Ja'Cory Brown. 4 seconds on the shot clock here, and it goes off of the leg and hand of Jalen Dawson. So an empty possession there to start the fourth quarter for Belleville East.
And that third quarter scoring, by the way, went +1 for Belleville East, 18-17. It was a 9-point lead at the half, now 10 as we start the fourth.
And Garrett Ross was the inbounder there. Dallas Berkeley has 15 points on the day, 5 in that third quarter. He might need to have a sensational fourth quarter for the Dragons here if they want to beat the Lancers. Berkeley around Waller, gives him the little push off there, and rightly so, the referee awards Belleville East with the offensive foul.
Good defense there. And
it was so unnecessary, too, because he was past Waller. He was trying to create space there, and it didn't go quite to plan.
Lancers' largest lead of this game up to this point is 10. They can make it 12 or 13 here at the bucket.
Collierville, like many other teams, running out of time a little bit here in this one. They're a state-ranked team in their class in the state of Tennessee. Haven't really shown too much quality, though, in this first-round game. Here's Moody over to Dawson. Great little screen at on the block, and then Brown decided, I'm not going to shoot it. Dawson down the baseline. Tries to put it up with the left hand, with the left hand he got blocked by Davis. Now up for Brown. That is another offensive foul. This time it is Garrett Ross taking the charge for the Dragons.
Pull another stat for you here real quick. Belleville East, when they go into the fourth quarter, have any lead. They're 7-1. The one loss came on the road at Breese Central. So again, I've talked about Talis Lowry, 7-1. He scores 9 points. He has 10 tonight. Good things, good trends right now for Belleville East.
And those trends most times hold true for some odd reason. As Garrett Ross, the transfer from ECS, that's Evangelical Christian School in Tennessee, was able to grab the charge there. He's got the basketball up against Jalen Dawson, who's guarding him as tight as possible. And Dawson falls to the floor there. Great work defensively from Dawson to win the possession for the Lancers. They're going to get the ball back. Steven, right there. That's a hustle play all the way.
They're going to call held ball, and the possession was actually in favor of Collierville, Tennessee, so they're going to keep it.
That is interesting there. It is varying because they got, it is the Collierville. I was looking at a different possession arrow and mixed my lines up. But, again, a good hustle play there. And when you're the offensive team in that situation, when the defense gets on the floor and gets aggressive like that, it just makes you a little more scared to go up with it. Here's Berkeley. Gets the second screen from Davis. Trying to find options, Berkeley. Over to Lucier, kind of bounced off his foot. 7 seconds on the shot clock here for Collierville as Berkeley tries to turn the corner. Out to Webb Thomas, top of the corner, top of the key three, as the shot clock expires. It is no good, and the Lancers have that rebound. This is Lowry on the fast break. Collierville will have men back, but Lowry will go up inside. Another offensive foul. This one is a charge taken by Luke Rader, and it is Tallis Lowry's first foul of the game. Not often where you see 2 charge calls in 2 straight possessions called.
Yes.
in 2 straight possessions.
Yeah, Brown was the first one, Lowry the second, and second team foul. Belleville East 5:55 to play, and again, 5 team fouls gets you in double bonus. Belleville East have to be wary of that here.
This is Berkeley. He's been the main man for Collierville tonight. Over to Thomas on the left corner. They're trying an away screen down on the block. Now it's Lucier at the top of the key. Free throw line jumper is off the front of the rim, off the back of the rim, and then through for Elijah Lucier.
He's got 10 now, second double-figure scorer for the Dragons.
46-38, and it is Collierville with time running out. They've got to try to create a run. It's now or never. Brown back out, and again, Beverly's taking their time. Backdoor cut for Waller. Waller threw it away, out of bounds, as he looked into the corner for Jalen Dawson. The pass was way off, and a bit of problem and frustration here for Jeff Creek and the Belleville East Lancers.
And not the greatest pass, not the best really decision. You had 2 guys right in front of Waller, so made that pass tough. Good defense here by the Dragons, and 8-point game. They got to 6 earlier in the third, but that's the closest they can get. We'll see what they can do here on this crucial possession here.
5:19 to go in this fourth quarter. Luke Rader inbounds the ball again. He had some clutch plays too in the games last year, as he will dribble the basketball up, trying to find an option, throw the ball away. Lancers got it on a 2-on-1. This is Tallis Lowry who lays it in for 2. A major 2-possession swing there, and it goes in the Lancers' favor. Now Davis almost gave the ball back to Belleville East. He tries to dribble inside. Dribbling's not his strong suit. Over to Lucier. He drives with his left hand, puts it up. It's good. Offensive foul, though, so the shot will not count.
Wow.
And the Lancers make 2 huge plays on the defensive end. When their offense was struggling, it's the defense that is holding the Lancers through.
You go back to, again, just a swing that's going to favor Belleville East. You had it was an 8-point game, huge possession, turnover. Belleville East gets the bucket, and then now another turnover. Belleville East has a chance to expand on this double-digit lead, and a huge stretch. Again, we've seen it out of this game so far, the entire game for the Dragons. They've been able to get the 2 possessions, but they just can't get it back to 1.
Right, they just cannot get a stretch of possessions to go in their favor. Credit Belleville East for always getting in there and making something happen to frustrate the Dragons. This is Lowry. He just had a huge basket for the Lancers. He's up to 12 points for Belleville East. Euro step for Lowry. No good, and the rebound comes to I think Davis here, or pardon me, Jones, and now it's Berkeley on the fast break. Berkeley behind the back, now at the top of the key, trying to find options as Collierville get all their men back. They're looking for potentially Caleb Davis in the post. Berkeley taking his time. He really doesn't have that much time to use this with. This is Aiden Harris, the sophomore. Back out to Berkeley. 10 seconds on the shot clock, trying to get around Brown. And then he loses the basketball. Great pressure defense by Brown, and the Lancers will run again. Jenkins up with a layup, and it's good. Even though Caleb Davis went up and blocked it, it fell anyways. And that makes it 50-38. And the Lancers slowly finishing off this Collierville Dragon team that, again, just cannot get a stretch of offensive possessions to go in their favor.
Well, I was going to say, they're a team that's not shot the 3-ball a lot tonight. They had 3 threes in the first half, went 0 for 3. You haven't seen many attempt in the second half, and when you got to rely on 2-point baskets and you're not scoring them, it's going to be tough to come back these final 4 minutes down by 12.
Harris up against Jenkins. Collierville really only have those 2 strong scorers out there. Players like Webb Thomas and Luke Rader on the bench now. Lucier around Brown, right-handed layup. That's his offhand there, and he floats it in for 2. And whenever Belleville East seem like they're going to finish this game off, it feels like it's Elijah Lucier finding a way on the other end to at least keep Collierville interested.
He's got 12 now.
We are 4 minutes, just less than 4 minutes away from this end of this one. Jenkins has a baseline 3. No good, and the rebound comes to Coleman, but he couldn't put it home. Here comes Berkeley on the other end. Berkeley will be guarded by Brown, who locked him up on the last possession, or a couple possessions ago. Berkeley, this time he goes to his right, up against Brown, and the foul is called on Brown. Almost got the and one there for Dallas Berkeley, but he'll go to the line and get 2 shots. He makes these, lead back down to 8.
Yeah, that was a really good drive. It's hard to go against Ja'Cory Brown down low on the right side of the lane, but he did a good job driving and ended up drawing the foul, and he's been a good free throw shooter. Knocked down a few earlier, and see what he can do here 3:20 left. There's still time. You just got to make your buckets. You got to make every possession count and see if you can continue playing good defense.
And if Collierville can get it closer in this game, they are very good in tight, like 5-point games. They
Yes,
had 2 buzzer beaters for the Dragons, 2 game-winning buzzer beaters.
And their last one, too, by Lucier in their last game.
Free throw good by Berkeley. He made the other buzzer beater. That was against Southwind earlier this season, and has again had some good scoring performances. Nickname is Bub, so Bub is going to try to get back into this game, get Collierville back into this game here.
He's got 16 points now and leading them in scoring. He's leading the whole game in scoring. Next is Lucier at 12, and Lowry and Coleman all with 12.
Yeah, 36 total points from 3 players from the Belleville East side. And Collierville will bring the pressure. This is Jenkins up against Aiden Harris. Gets around Jenkins, and now Jenkins goes inside, dips it off to Dawson, and that's a foul as Caleb Davis's right hand comes swinging down there. And Lancers will get free throws here. Jalen Dawson will take them.
Jalen Dawson is someone that was just kind of really good the last few games. We'll talk about him here. Last 4 games, he's averaged almost 9.5 points. He's shooting 77% from the field, almost 5 rebounds, 2 assists. And the best thing about him is his free throw shooting, 12 for 15, 80%, second best on the team, and misses the first. Little announcer's jinx right there.
Yeah, a little bit of an announcer's jinx. He was 7-9 from the free throw line coming into this game. He won that MVP for Belleville East. It just goes to show you that anybody can be their best player because he won it against Lutheran North at a neutral site game that I believe was played at McKendree.
Yep.
As Dawson 0 for 2.
Oh, now we're jinxing him.
A little bit of a commentator's curse here in the late night action of the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic. This is David Jones. Back over to Dallas Berkeley. Guarded closely by Waller. Now Berkeley trying to find some space into the lane. Pull-up jumper is good. Back down to a 6-point game with 3 minutes to play. Buckle up, folks. Collierville's trying to make the comeback.
That's a really good shot. Cleo put a good contest on as well.
This is Jackson inside. Layup doesn't go. And it's the rebound from Lucier. And Collierville can cut it to a 4 or 3-point game. It's Berkeley. He goes inside, no good. Lucier is able to grab the rebound and hold the possession for Collierville because he was fouled.
That's the 4th foul by Belleville East. Next one was sent to a double bonus. And again, this is the point we've talked about. They've got it here numerous times. Can they now make it a 4-point game or even a 1-possession game with a 3?
Well, if they're going to do that, it's going to start with probably Dallas Berkeley, who's on the near block on this inbounds play.
Dawson picked up his 3rd, by the way, on that foul for the Lancers.
Pass outside to Davis, or to Jones, and he's pushed off by Jalen Dawson. And going for the line for 2 is David Jones from Collierville.
That's a tough play, and Dawson really made a good play, just gets called for a foul. That's his 4th. He's got to watch out because now he's in foul trouble. One more and he's out of the game, and you put the Dragons at the line. They've made a good number of their free throws tonight, and they have a chance, again, make it a 4-point game here if they can make both.
The 5'10 sophomore hits the first with 2:29 to go. Why not? The late night game is always close, it seems like, except for last year when Quincy played Alton. That was a blowout.
That's the first point for Jones. He's got both.
Jones hits the second. And let's see here. Does that shot count? It does not.
Wow.
I'm not sure what happened, but I believe it was a lane violation. What a costly mistake for Collierville right at the end of this game. So the second free throw does not hit.
They had momentum going their way. That's a huge break for Belleville East. Instead of a 4-point game, it now goes to 5.
The difference in that is staggering.
Yes, it will be.
Here is Khalil Waller. They only get 1 point out of that possession. Brutal. Brown. This is Dawson, who's got those 4 fouls. He's got to be careful. Gets the screen from Jackson. Now it's Lowry. Over to Brown. He turned the ball over. A couple of just terrible turnovers here for East at the end of this basketball game. It is why they have not been able to close this basketball game out.
And those are really costly. You know, those are possessions left on the board, and the Dragons so far have done a good job responding to the other end, making those count, as they're going to take a timeout right at 2-minute mark here.
With 2 minutes to go, we have a timeout from Sean Tagger. We will be back with the final 2 minutes of this Prairie Farms Holiday Classic Day 1 action. Don't go anywhere, folks. It's a 5-point
Lakeside
game.
Roofing in Collinsville. Let the professionals at Lakeside Roofing protect your most important investment, your home or business. Have the elements taken a toll on your roof system? Notice a leaking roof? Maybe it's time for a free roof inspection. Regular maintenance can extend the life of your roofing system by 10 years or more. Lakeside Roofing is your winning team for commercial and residential roofing systems. Lakeside All-Star professionals have installed, repaired, and maintained hundreds of roofs on both sides of the river. Call Lakeside Roofing today at 344-2800 in Collinsville or 314-241-5253 or online at lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience, choose Lakeside.
Back with you here at the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic. Matt Clark, Steven Stock with you here. We've seen some close games already in this one, Steven. In this day one, basket by Tyler Thompson gave Triad a lead, which they won 41-40 over Carbondale. McClure North had a chance to tie the game from the free throw line with 3 shots. They did not succeed. And this one could be headed in the same tight direction.
Yeah, and Belleville, again, you talked about it before, talking about costly turnovers.
This is Webb Thomas, who was going around the back of the screen. Lucier inside. He has a size advantage, and it's going to stay with the Collierville Dragons as Talis Lowry tipped it away.
I'm going to go back to the game at home. Belleville, their home opener, non-conference play against Modern Day. They had a double-digit lead, and Modern Day got back into it. I think they made it a 6-point game at one point. It was because of missed free throws, not the turnovers. We're seeing turnovers now. Belleville affect them here.
Berkeley. Pass to Lucier, mid-range jumper, no good, and the rebound comes to David Jones. Big second chance opportunity here coming for Collierville as the shot clock resets. This is David Jones with the basketball here.
2-possession game. They can make it one with the bucket here.
Jones, they're going to try to find Berkeley here. Of course they will. He's got 19, drives inside, goes up with the layup, no good, and Lucier couldn't grab the rebound. Belleville East get the basketball back. That might just be the most costly missed opportunity for Collierville tonight.
They've had a lot of good offensive rebounds. Lucier's done a good job of that one. Just slipped out of his hands, and we'll see what Belleville East can do here. They're in a scoring drought as well.
It is Khalil Waller. He will take his time. 1 minute, 20 seconds to go. Lancers with the 2-possession lead here in Game 8 of the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic. This is Dawson up against Webb Thomas. A shot here could kill him off, but he loses the ball. Is it a jump ball? Yes, it is. It's going to stay with Belleville East. That was huge. They desperately needed the ball to stay with them on that possession.
I got a question for you. Is the shot clock would stay at 15, or is it going to reset?
I think it's going to stay at 15.
Okay.
Because just like it's out of bounds, that's
stayed with possession.
Yeah.
Okay.
It stays with possession, and it is not impeding by either team.
Well,
Nothing changed possession there.
Yes, this shot clock's going to play this interest here because Belleville East, they're probably more of a strategy of passing around, trying to burn as much time off. You can only burn 35 seconds off, so this
now
is
they
a
can
huge
burn
possession here.
Yeah, they can only burn 15 seconds now with 1 minute and 6 seconds to play. Collierville were down 10 in the end of the end of the third quarter. Pardon me.
The Dragons are also in the double bonus. Belleville East is not yet. It's only 3 fouls for the Dragons up to this point.
This is out to Dawson, almost a 5-second violation. Dawson with 12. Dawson drives left. Brown over to Dawson. Inside, outside to Waller. With 5 seconds to go, it's Talis Lowry. He goes with the Euro step. Floater, no good. Rebound comes to Lucier. And Lucier is fouled, and that means that the Lancers will allow Collierville to get 2 more free throws.
They got in too much on him. You had 3 players swarm the ball handler, Lucier, and draws the foul. That's the last thing I think Coach Creek wanted Belleville East to do was put Lucier at the line for 2.
Elijah Lucier, again, just like many of these Collierville players, know what to do in terms of the clutch.
He's got 12 points on it right now on the night, second in scoring for the Dragons. 13 now.
Makes the first free throw. If he makes the second, it's a 3-point game here with 49 seconds to go. What a fantastic quadrant of this bracket they've been. McClure North and Lincoln, razor-tight game. This one as well. Lucier misses the second, but Thomas gets the offensive rebound, and he's fouled. Webb Thomas will now go to the line to shoot 2. Costly error after costly error. This time it's Belleville East with a group of them here late in this fourth quarter.
Ja'Cory Brown just fouled out of the game for Belleville East. That's his 5th foul.
Christian Jenkins will check in. The only other Belleville East player that is in foul trouble is Jalen Dawson. He's got 4.
Man, Belleville East, things are wheels are falling off right now, and that was an unlucky spot. First one, in and out, wow. But it was that rebound was just in an unlucky spot, and Brown was there trying to get to it and in the deck and had the foul, man. That's a tough spot for Belleville East, but now the Dragons, you got to make the second free throw. You're making a 3-point game.
He made it 47-50, and it's a timeout by Sean Taggart. We'll keep it right here for you on the K-Hawk Sports Network. Steven, they had 4 free throws there in that possession, and they come away with 2 points, but they keep it a 3-point game. It's just, that has been the story of day one.
Yes.
I'll say that right now. Missed free throws has been the story of day one. The teams that have made their free throws have gone on to win basketball teams. The teams that haven't, in example, Carbondale, for example, McClure North, find themselves in the consolation bracket.
We just saw McClure North 3-point game, get fouled on a 3, go 3 free throws, missed the first 2 with the game on the line.
And then he made the third, which he really, I don't know if that was the best idea for him
exactly. But you look at the positive here, though. They get it to a one-possession game. You get it to 3, but you went 2 for 4 at the line. You left 2 points on the scoreboard. I mean, it's a 1-point game. Or I guess it would be I guess that second free throw you make, it's still a 3-point game, but still you at least make the first one. It's a 2-point game. I mean, it makes things closer. You left points on the board. I talked about it a few minutes ago. You cannot leave points on the board this close to the game. These are crucial points. Belleville East is in a scoring drought. You have to take advantage of that.
48.2 seconds to go here in this fourth quarter. You've watched a lot of Belleville East basketball in the past. Give me a quick synopsis of what Creek likes to do in late game situations.
Well, you're going to see if you can get the ball in the hands of Talis Lowry or Jalen Dawson. That's your best free throw shooters. Just try and not make a dumb pass. You want to be smart with the basketball. Good move, ball moving. You don't want to force anything.
Collierville trap in the corner. Back to Dawson here. Belleville East try to break the trap. They got a guy down the floor in Jordan Jackson. Almost a travel by Talis Lowry. He'll get the ball back here. Shot clock, 13 seconds separate game clock and shot clock. Let's see if Collierville try to play it straight up. They've decided they're not. Lowry drives inside. Back out to Dawson. He knows he's going to get fouled. Referee still haven't called a foul. Collierville have tried about 5 times to get an intentional foul, and the referees finally blow the whistle.
Well, Dawson kind of took it, too. He was going to act like he was going to take it left corner, passed out, didn't get the call. But now the next one says the Lanterns and double. It's not in there yet, but the person that fouled for the Dragons, that's Berkeley. That's his 4th. One more, and he's out of the game.
Yeah, you cannot afford to lose. Dallas Berkeley. 4th foul on the Dragons. Next one puts the Lancers in the double bonus, but they got to get it inbounded first. Creek has timeouts to use.
He
will
use
left. One right now, and I think that will be a smart timeout from Creek. 60-second timeout, 28.2 seconds left in this one. We're going to take a quick break and be back with you in a moment here on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
Collinsville Barbecue Supply, home of Code 3 Spices, is first responder owned by proud K-Hawk alums. Located at 1966 Vandalia, Collinsville Barbecue Supply is your one-of-a-kind barbecue headquarters that focuses on everything barbecue and cooking, providing the best American-made barbecue grills, in-person class instruction, smokers, rubs, sauces, accessories, and cooking expertise from professional barbecue experts, including an in-house chef and pitmaster. Code 3 Spices provides award-winning sauces and rubs that supports our nation's first responder and military organizations that focus on the fallen, suicide prevention, and PTSD awareness. Stop on by, see the guys at Collinsville Barbecue Supply for all of your cooking and grilling needs. Collinsville Barbecue Supply, home of the 4-time world champion Patriot Sauce. Learn more about their products and mission in giving back to those who serve at collinsvillebarbecue.com or call 618-855-8855.
Back with you here at the Holiday Classic. Belleville East inbounds with 28.2 seconds to go. Creek took a timeout to try to get this ball in, and then it's lost. This is McKinnon with the rebound. Up to B.J. Boyce, and Boyce misses the layup. Lucier gets the follow-up and scores with 20 seconds to go. And Belleville East now have to inbound here. Clock running. Lowry inside. He's fouled with 16.6 to go. This is as close as it has been in this one since it was 11-10 at the end of the first. And Talis Lowry will go to the line to shoot 2.
Belleville East got the right guy at the line, that's for sure. Again, we talked about Talis Lowry, best free throw shooter on this team. I want to go back to that 4th foul the Dragons had that forced that timeout by Coach Creek and it trigger in. It was interesting to me that they took so long to foul. And obviously, the referee didn't call anything. It took long for them to foul, which turned off that shot clock. Obviously, it didn't matter as they ended up getting a quick inbound steal. But big free throws here for Talis Lowry. They got the right guy, though, at the line in Belleville East. The senior who's really done a good job in the leadership role this year.
12 points at the free throw line. Talis hit some huge ones in the overtime win over Belleville Altoff. He misses the front end. Poor free throw shooting again on display here at the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic, and it might just determine the outcome of this game.
Well, again, Talis, I mean, you make both of them. The best they can do is tie without a foul on a 3-point shot. Now they can take the lead on a 3. 16 seconds left, and both teams in a double bonus. I mean, this, depending on if this is a make or miss, we may have a huge possession coming up here.
Lowry will take his time, 16.6 to go. Shakes off his hair, free throw, rolls in, and a timeout by Coach Creek we will, and it's going to be another full timeout. We're going to keep it right here for you. Let's just talk about this game from full view. It was a tight game in the first half. Stephen got to call it, as it was 11-10 Belleville East after one, and then they outscored the Dragons 17-9 in the second quarter. Had a strong third quarter where they kept the Dragons at arm's bay. They were up 10 coming into this fourth quarter, and they really were up 10 for a good majority of it. Collierville cut it to 6 or 7 or 8, but they were never really able to get into this lead. They haven't overtaken the Lancers in this one, but a slow, steady comeback from the Collierville Dragons puts us in the position where they've got the ball. 51-49. Both teams are in the double bonus. The possession arrow is in Collierville's favor, Stephen.
Numerous times they've got the 6 points, haven't been able to crack past that, and they get it here now, get it to a 2-point game. And the reason why they're back in this game, Belleville East just hasn't done a good job handling the basketball. Numerous turnovers, and you saw Tallis Lowry 1 for 2 from the line. He's a really good free throw shooter. It's rare to see him miss in a spot like that. And now here we are, 2-point game, 16.6 to go. Got to go the full length of the court. We'll see what happens, but let's see if Belleville East can play some good defense. You have Jordan Jackson out there, a guy who doesn't play much. He plays good defense. We'll see if he can guard either Davis or Lucier down low.
Collierville have been in this spot before where they have won the game on late buzzer beaters. Here's one of the bigs who did that this year. It's Berkeley. He goes inside. No good on the layup. And the rebound falls to Dawson. He's fouled from behind with 7.4 seconds to play. Stephen, Dallas Berkeley had a wide open look there, but he puts it a little short, and he's been great for the Dragons tonight, but he misses their most important shot.
Well, and he just fouled out of the game, too. That's his 5th foul. But when I saw him take that drive and I saw him put the hands up to shoot it, I was like, oh, we're tied. We're tied. I thought he was going to really make it. Now, Belleville East, you get your second-best free throw shooter at the line. He's missed. Oh, he went 0 for 2 for the line earlier. So this is a huge spot, and I think the Dragons are going to have another chance here.
If he makes both, it's a 2-possession game. 7.4 seconds to go. Jalen Dawson, the man of the moment, hits the first. And when in a game where free throw shooting has been on and off, the Lancers can effectively win this game at the free throw line right here.
That's his first point of the night. Man, a crucial spot for it is.
Dawson's second free throw. Too strong. Rebound comes to Davis. Here comes Thomas with 5 seconds to play. Colin Monin with the basketball. Monin dribbling over to Jones for the 3. No good. Game over, and the Lancers survive. They'll head to the quarterfinals, and they will face Lincoln. What a fantastic end to this one. 10:38 is the time. You stayed up late with us, and you got what you asked for. 52-49, Lancers over Collierville. Stephen, what a game. The Lancers win in the first round again. They take on Lincoln at 2:30 tomorrow.
What a treat we just had to take in, man. What a game, and a narrow 3-point win. And they're going to play Lincoln tomorrow, a team they beat last year in the second round. So here's your little second round rematch for you in the second round tomorrow. I think it's going to be a good one in that loser's bracket as well in McClure North and Collierville, Tennessee. And that'll be another great matchup as well.
Well, I just want to say one more note on that last shot. They sorely missed Dallas Berkeley. They were looking for who was going to shoot that basketball.
Yes.
It was David Jones, the sophomore, who put up the shot. They sorely missed Dallas Berkeley, who fouled out right before then. What a game to finish up this Prairie Farms Holiday Classic. Day 1, it was so much fun. Let's give you just a quick preview of Day 2. MacArthur and O'Fallon at 10 a.m. here on the KHOC Sports Network. Catch our pregame show at 9:40 to start us off there. Altoff have Quincy at 11:30. Trident and Collinsville at 1, and then Lincoln against Belleville East, who just won 50-47, or pardon me, 52-49. Stephen, it's going to be an exciting Day 2, and you'll be back for it.
I can't wait for it, and looking forward to a fun day of basketball tomorrow. We'll see how Belleville East does. Matt, this was a great time calling basketball with you, man. This was an incredible game, and glad we had a great game to call. It was so much fun.
Well, what fun here, and I hope that everyone that watched this game enjoyed it along with us. What a great day. 12 hours of basketball for you. Actually, 12 and a half hours of basketball for you here is done. Thank you for all your support. If you're watching the KHOC Sports Network, it's been really fun. You have one more thing,
Yeah, I
Steven?
got one more thing. If you're a Belleville East fan, I say stick tuned to our Belleville East Athletics YouTube account and our social media accounts. Assistant Coach Keith Padgett will be joining for a postgame. We'll break this one down on the Belleville East side.
Man, Belleville East survived. They were up 10 in the third quarter. They win by 3, 52-49. That'll wrap us up for today. We'll shut everything down 9:40 tomorrow morning for Day 2, the Gauntlet, where every team plays twice. We'll have 8 games here for you on the KHOC Sports Network. But for then, have a fantastic night. We'll see you here tomorrow morning on the KHOC Sports Network.